In this video, we're going to review the laws of exponents. So the product rule, if we have the same base, we add the exponents if we're multiplying them together. If we have a to the m raised to the n, when you have an exponent raised to an exponent, we're going to multiply the exponents together. The power rule for product, if we have a times b raised to the n, it's the same as a raised to the n times b raised to the n. The power rule for quotient, if we have a divided by b raised to the n, it's equal to a to the n divided by b to the n, so long as b is not 0. 0 as an exponent. If 0 is the exponent of any base, then it's equal to 1. Negative exponent. If we have a divided by b all raised to the negative n, that is equal to b divided by a raised to the n, as long as a and b are not equal to 0. Negative exponent part 2, if we have a to the negative m divided by b to the negative n, it's the same as b raised to the n and divided by a raised to the m, as long as a and b are not equal to 0. And if we have a to the m divided by a to the n, it's equal to a to the m minus n. So we subtract the exponents if we're dividing. We add the exponents if we're multiplying. And here our negative exponent, just remember that if you move a number from the numerator to the denominator, then we're going to change the sign of the exponent. So now let's take a look at the order of operations of simplifying. So we have order of operations for simplifying exponential expressions. 1, if necessary, simplify what's in the parentheses using the product or the quotient rule. 2, rewrite so you have no negative exponents in the parentheses. 3, if applicable, rewrite so outside exponent is positive by applying the rule for negative exponents. And 4, apply the appropriate power rule. Your final answer should not contain negative exponents. So now let's take a look at all the examples. Number 1, simplify each expression. Assume all variables represent non-zero real numbers. In A, I have a to the negative third divided by a to the fourth times a to the fifth. So the first thing I want to do is rewrite this without any exponents being negative. So I'm going to say that this is equal to 1 divided by a to the fourth, a to the fifth, and then the a to the negative 3 that was in the numerator becomes a to the third in the denominator. And now we're multiplying a to the fourth times a to the fifth times a to the third, and when we're multiplying, we add the exponents. So we're left with 1 divided by a, 4 plus 5 is 9, plus 3 is 12. So in this problem, we look back at our rules, and you can see that we used the negative exponent rule to bring our a to the negative third to the denominator and make it positive, and then we used our product rule to multiply a to the fourth times a to the fifth times a to the third. And in this next problem, I'm going to go through the same process. So the first thing I'm going to do is get all my exponents positive. So I'm going to rewrite this as x to the third, and that's already in the numerator. And then we have an x to the negative third in the denominator, and I'm going to make that positive in the numerator. Divided by, we had an x to the fourth already in the denominator, and then we had an x to the negative fourth in the numerator, so it becomes x to the fourth in the denominator. And now I'm going to use the product rule, and I have x to the third times x to the third, add the exponents, gives me x to the sixth, divided by x to the fourth times x to the fourth, x to the eighth. And then when we simplify this, we have x to the sixth divided by x to the eighth, and we're going to subtract the exponents. So we're going to have x to the negative 2. And the directions said not to have any negative exponents, So we're going to rewrite this as 1 over x squared. All right, in example C, we have 2xy to the fifth, all raised to the third, times 3x squared y all squared. So the first thing I want to do is cube everything in the parentheses of 2xy to the fifth and square everything in the parentheses of 3x squared y. So I'm going to start off, 2 cubed is 8 times x cubed, y to the fifth raised to the 3 is y to the 15. Remember, when we have an exponent raised to an exponent, we multiply them. Times, we have 3 squared is 9. X squared squared is x to the fourth. And y squared. And now, we can multiply together all the bases that are the same. And we have constants. So the first thing I'm going to do is multiply 8 and 9, gives me 72. And I have x to the third and x to the fourth. And since I'm multiplying them, I'm adding the exponents, x to the seventh. And I have y to the 15th times y squared. And I end up with y to the 17. In this last example, I have 3a squared b to the fifth all squared divided by 27a to the fourth times a to the negative 3 times b to the negative 7. So if we follow our order operations, the first thing we're going to do is take care of our parentheses, and then we're going to get all the exponents positive. So I have 3 squared is 9. A squared squared is a to the fourth. And b to the fifth squared is b to the 10th. Divided by 27 a to the fourth, a to the negative 3, and b to the negative 7. So now I want to make all my exponents positive. So when I do that, I need to move my a to the negative 3 and my b to the negative 7 to the numerator and make the exponents positive. So I have 9 times a to the fourth, and then a to the third, representing the a to the negative third that was in the denominator, b to the 10th, and b to the 7th, which is the b to the negative 7 from the denominator, divided by 27 a to the fourth. And now I'm going to use the multiplication rule, or the product rule, to combine my a terms and my b terms. So I'm going to end up with 9 a to the 7th, 4 plus 3, and b to the 17th, divided by 27a to the fourth. And now the 9 and the 27 can be reduced to 1 over 3. So I'm going to have a 1 in the numerator and a 3 in the denominator. A to the 7th divided by a to the 4th gives me a cubed. And b to the 17th in the numerator, and we don't have any b terms in the denominator. So we're left with b to the 17th. So our final answer is a cubed times b to the 17th, all divided by 3. And that's our review of law of exponents.